Hello out there, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Joe, and I just spent the last half hour filming video footage, and when I went in to do some editing to put this video out, there was no audio on any of it, so I have to redo the whole thing. The trials and tribulations of a YouTuber. So anyways, in this video, I have a new tractor attachment, and I can't do the unboxing because I already unboxed it in the last video and there was no audio. So I've already got it hooked up. I'm just going to show it to you. I'm going to give you a sort of a brief explanation as to why I got it and what it does. And let's get right into it. Okay, so this is my Kubota bx2680. And I use this for all kinds of things around my property, but one of the things that I use it for is in the winter for snow removal. And my driveway isn't big enough to justify the outrageous cost of a snowblower, which if you're familiar with these machines, you know that a new snowblower attachment for this machine is $4,000 to $5,000, somewhere in that price range. I'm not spending that much money on a snowblower. They do make plows for this machine, but they're also really expensive. I'm sure that they're great, but they're expensive. A plow for this machine, you can get a manual turn plow for around $2,000. I think the hydraulic adjustable plow is somewhere in the $2,800 to $3,000 price range. And sure, I could go on Facebook Marketplace and find a used one in good condition and probably save a little bit of money, but still really, really expensive for what I need it for. My driveway is about 3,300 square feet, and I'll take you outside and I'll show you it in a minute, but I just couldn't justify spending that kind of money. So what I have been doing for the last couple seasons, this is going to be my first season snow plowing with the 2680. Prior to that, I had an 1880, which is essentially the same type of tractor, same frame, same loader, same bucket size and all that, just a little less horsepower. But I had been using what's called an edge tamer. And if you're familiar with tractors, you probably know about this product. Let me give you a close-up. This is the original edge tamer. And if you're going to buy edge tamers, I suggest that you get the actual brand edge tamer. Don't go on Amazon and buy the cheap stuff. Don't buy the Vivors and the no-name Chinese brands. This is an American-made product. It's really, really well built, and you will not have a problem with this product if you buy it. It will do what you bought it to do. So, but I've seen on the forums where some people skimped out and saved $40 and bought the cheap Chinese ones, and then they have nothing but problems with them. So the welds on this are good. The poly pad on this is really good quality. Everything about this is good. But what I bought it for, it got the job done, but it didn't get the job done well. I bought it specifically for snow removal so that I didn't mar up my new asphalt driveway. The bucket edge on the Kubota is a metal steel cutting edge, and if you use just the bucket with the cutting edge, you're gonna damage your driveway. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So this did save my driveway from damage, but it does not do a great job when it comes to snow removal, because what happens is you've got about an inch. What it does is this clamps over the edge of your bucket, and then it leaves about an inch gap from where your bucket cutting edge surface touches the ground to the pavement. So if you had a foot of snow, it's going to be great. It's going to get rid of most of the snow, but it's always going to leave a layer about an inch thick of snow on your driveway. And I found myself plowing the snow and then having to go back with a shovel and get the rest of it. In a 3,000 square foot driveway, that's a couple hours out there of work. I didn't want to do it anymore. So I finally broke down and bought a product, another American-made product. Let me flip the camera around and show you what I got. Okay, here it is. I got a product from a company called Ratchet Rake. They're out of Pennsylvania, and they're an American small business. They make all their products in-house. They do all of the welding by hand in-house. I don't know where they get the poly edge from, but anyways, same concept as the edge tamers. It clamps onto the bucket. You know, if you look underneath, you'll see, let me see if I can get underneath. You'll see it just kind of has a little, you know, it just kind of hovers over the bucket, and then you got these ratchets, and they turn really nice. I hope they stay that way. Maybe I'll give it a little oil or some lubricant to keep it moving nice, but these things twist really nice. So it just clamps onto the bucket, and then you have this 2.5, 3 inch, I'm not sure what the thickness is, I'm gonna guess 2.5 inches, plastic or poly edge that runs the entire length of the bucket. So now instead of, you know, just having the skis one on each end and having a gap between the bucket and the surface of the driveway, I've now got one complete edge making full contact with the surface of the driveway. So what I did last year, and let me flip the camera back around. So last year we had a pretty significant snowstorm, and I used the edge tamers, and it just got too frustrating for me. I ended up removing the edge tamers, and I just gave up, and I was like, screw it, and I just used the cutting edge on the bucket. And let me go outside, because I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's very sunny out right now, but it did leave some damage on the surface of my driveway. Let me show you. So you can see the scrapes in my driveway. All these scrapes, there's another one over here. So it did leave some scraping and some marring in my driveway. Here's one here. Nothing terrible. Here's one down here. So nothing terrible, but you know, I don't want to keep plowing my driveway every winter and getting it worse and worse. I'll fix those scrapes and scratches in my driveway next summer. I'll be due for a seal coat, and it'll cover right up, but I don't want to keep making it worse. So this is my solution to the problem. And obviously there's no snow out there right now, so I can't show you how it works. Actually, maybe I will. I'll jump on the tractor and I'll drag the edge across my driveway, and you'll see whether or not it makes any damage. I already know it doesn't make damage because I already did it in my last video that had no audio, but I'll do it again just to show you. So anyway, again, this is Ratchet Rake. Go to ratchetrake.com. The cost of this one, this is the 48 inch. This one was $360, I think, or $369, something like that. There is a shipping cost of about $60. No sales tax. I'm not sure why, but no sales tax. Yeah, man, I'm excited to use this. I've been wanting to buy this for a couple of years, and I just couldn't get myself to pull the trigger, and I finally decided it's time. So let's throw the camera up on the tractor. I'll try to point it down at the bucket so you can get an idea of what this looks like as it's gliding across the surface of my driveway. And one other thing to point out before I do that. So Ratchet Rake makes this in several sizes. This is the 48. They make a 54, I think, 54 inch, and they make a 60 inch. Not a lot of cost difference between them. So depending on what tractor you have and what size bucket you have, you know, get the right size for your needs. I spoke to Barbara when I called, and she was very helpful because they have two different cutting edge profiles. She was helpful in helping me decide which one was best for me. This is their original cutting edge profile, and they also have one that's thinner with more of a tapered, sharper edge that's meant for driveways like mine, like smooth surface asphalt. However, she mentioned to me that cutting edge does not do as well on back dragging, and I want to back drag. This is more of a general purpose. The original cutting edge is more of a general purpose cutting edge. It's good for everything. Smooth surfaces, uneven surfaces like cobblestone and gravel. And this one is also good for back dragging, which is why I wanted this edge. So, yeah, so let's get it set up, get the camera set up. Let's just take a spin around the driveway. I'll drag the cutting edge on the driveway. And you'll be able to see that it doesn't do any damage to my driveway at all. And one other thing to point out, they rate this edge at 34 hours or 36 hours of continuous use. For someone like me, that's 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10 years, depending on the winters and how much snow we get. But, you know, even if I get 5 years out of this, fantastic. A replaceable edge for this is about 60 or 70 bucks to get a new edge, and it'll just bolt right on. This did come fully assembled, so there was no assembly required. You just clamp it onto your bucket and it's ready to use. So Kubota, or my Kubota dealer, I'm not sure if it's a Kubota product, my Kubota dealer does sell a bolt-on poly edge that you can, you know, undo the 8 bolts, remove the bolt-on cutting edge and replace it with a poly edge. But that poly edge is 250 bucks, and when it wears out, you got to buy another poly edge, and it's another 250 bucks, so on and so on. You can see where that adds up. So I'd rather just spend the 360, the extra 110 bucks, get this, and then when it's time to replace the blades, I'm only spending another 70 bucks instead of another 250. So this is called the Snow Edge from Ratchet Rake. There's their info if you're interested. It's ratchetrake.com. They make a couple other products. Another one that I'm also interested in, which is the actual ratchet rake, which is for land clearing and debris clearing. I may actually get that next spring because I'm going to be doing some land clearing. But the Snow Edge is what I wanted. So let's get outside and give it a run. Let's just put this in float, drop it right to the ground. Let's start moving. Dragging straight across my asphalt. It's not causing any damage. Now I'll back drag. And you can see there's no scrapes on my ground at all. And I'm going to lift the bucket just a little because I'm going up over the edge of my garage floor. Alright, so there you have it. That is the Ratchet Rake Snow Edge with their original profile edge. Go to ratchetrake.com. They are an American company, small business, manufactured in-house, and I expect this product to work well for me. I will do, when we get our first snow event, I will do a more in-depth review on this product to give you a better idea of how it worked for me. And that's all I got for you. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and we will catch you on the next video. Bye-bye.